There he is, Tyson Fury, the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. Saturday, it's Oleksandr Usyk, all the belts. Tyson, we have waited for so long for this moment. From a historical standpoint in boxing, what does Saturday mean to you?
It's a big fight, big event, all the marbles in the game, all the belts under one banner, and the opportunity to take them all back home with me. I've had all these belts before, never lost them in the ring, but it's a time for me to put them all back together and unite them once again. For the
Is that
first
your?
time this
I didn't mean to interrupt you. It looks like is that your son sitting next to you, Tyson?
time with a WBC belt around his neck.
All right, all right. Love to see that right there, Tyson. When you look at all the great opponents you've fought in your career, how do you, in your head, figure out where Usyk ranks in that? Do you expect this to be the most difficult fight you've had?
I fought a lot of tough opponents in my career, and a lot of champions, and a lot of up and comers and stuff, and undefeated guys. So it's difficult to say he's the best or not, but he's definitely a tough challenger. He's a cruiserweight world champion, a heavyweight world champion, Olympic gold medalist. So he's supposed to be a tough challenge for sure.
What parts of his game do you believe maybe you haven't seen before?
I think after he's had 350 amateur fights and 21 professional fights, I believe we've seen it all. I've seen everything he's got to offer, really, and I think I can deal with it.
We've heard you do the normal Tyson Fury experience, talk a little trash, be yourself, be colorful in recent months, but the last couple weeks seem a little bit more serious. In fact, I've seen you give Usyk a lot more respect than I've heard before. Did something change in that process?
Well, I've always respected his boxing credentials. I've never questioned those. I've called him a ugly rabbit, ugly dosser plenty of times, and I'll stand by that. However, I've never once questioned his credentials as a boxer. So it's not about how he looks or how much gap his teeth are or how ugly he is. It's about boxing fights. So that aside, I can respect his achievements as a boxer and as a man.
Well, since you've joined forces with Javon Sugar Hill Stewart, we saw you fight with a little bit more weight on you, look to sit down on your punches more. But all the pictures I've seen, it almost looks like Fury ahead of the Klitschko fight. Your abs are showing, you look slim and cut. Does that play into the strategy of when you look ahead of the challenge that Usyk brings?
Usyk's a lighter fighter, so he's going to be moving around. So we took a bit of weight off. I'm not as light as I look. Maybe it's a camera trick or something. I'm still pretty heavy. I'm probably about 267 pounds. So yeah, pretty heavy. So I'm probably about 10 pounds lighter than I have been in recent fights. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting in there and doing a demolition job. That's what I want to do.
Well, look, for all the talk of how's Fury going to deal with this, how is Usyk going to deal with Tyson Fury? What do you think? What are the challenges that you don't think he's seen that you're going to bring in there on Saturday?
Very difficult. I don't think he's ever been in the ring with a T-Rex before. He's fought 4 heavyweights and none of them are like me. So this is the first for him for sure. And I know he's been sparring a few different heavyweight guys and they're not really on my level. So when people ask me about Usyk, it's not what have I got to worry about with Usyk. It's like you just said, it's what he's got to worry about me. I only think about what I'm going to do. I never think about what the opponent's going to do. So yeah, looking forward to it. And the answer to the question is I don't think he can handle what I'm about to dish out.
I'm wondering what you make of look, you're only as good as your last fight in this game. So when you fight Ngannou and it was closer than expected, Tyson, I'm literally hearing people saying, "Oh, he's never been the same since the third Wilder fight, blah blah blah." What do you do with that in training camp? Is that a mental driver?
Not really, you can only do what you can do on the night, and that's it. I never make excuses about performances, good, bad, or indifferent. We move on, As soon as these fights have happened, the next morning, they're not of interest to me anymore. It's over, finished. Even this fight, the Undisputed, where it's the biggest fight of this century, the first time it's happened this century. However, Sunday morning, it's in the past. It's a forgotten memory for me. I just move on, go home and do what I got to do. But listen, you can only go on people's last fights, I suppose, in life. You can only go on people's form. And, Oleksandr Usyk's last fight was against Dubois. Mine was against Ngannou. So you can only go off those 2 performances. And that's it. That's all you can take, I suppose. You can't go back to 2015 and say, oh, well, look what both guys did in 15. because it's not relevant anymore. So I'm just looking forward to the challenge and putting on a good show.
I mean, in hindsight, can you say that wasn't the best training camp? That wasn't the best performance? I know you're not an excuse guy. You don't even, you said you don't even care, but
I had a fantastic training camp and I had a fantastic fight, got paid, got laid, got out of there. Nothing more to say.
all right. I'll take a few of those things. We saw Big John Fury, your father, who is such a great, colorful character, get a little color on him this week. It's great promotion. Is there anything you don't like about that? Or is that right in line with what he's all about?
I absolutely love it. He's the best promoter in the world. People would pay millions of dollars to have a promoter like that behind them. Creates so much opinion, creates so much content, and he saves me a job. I don't have to act up and go crazy because my dad's doing it, which he probably needs a percentage for that. So yeah, it's fantastic to have someone like that behind you.
Look, I've always had a lot of respect for your dad. I think he's a very brilliant mind when it comes to boxing. Look at where you are today as the son of him. What type of advantage was it having Gypsy John Fury as a dad to get to this spot in your career where you are now?
You know, everything starts with a dream. And we had a dream as when I was a kid, and my dad's always been there and supported me. And if it wasn't for me dad, I wouldn't be here, literally. If he decided to pull out that night, I'd have been not even in existence. So I need to thank him for that. Thank him for the life he gave me. The 1 in 4 quadrillion to 1 chance of me being born. So yeah, and all the nurturing and all the bills he had to pay and putting roof over our heads and food in our guts our whole life. You're nothing, aren't you, without your family, your parents who made you and who put you on this planet.
Indeed, indeed. With that, he's certainly given you the toughness that has carried you through the hard times in the ring. And here we are in the biggest fight of your career. So look, Usyk says there's no mind games. Tyson can't get inside of this head. Can you? Do you need mind games to win?
I think when people talk like that, I'm already in the mind. I'm like Dr. X. I'm already in his mind, rent free, living inside of him. Every time he wakes up in the middle of the night, he sees Tyson Fury's face. When he looks in the mirror while he's brushing his teeth in the morning, he sees my face. When he closes his eyes at night, he sees my face. And every time he sees my face, his heart beats very quick. Judgment Day is coming.
Indeed, indeed. Unique situation here with a 2-fight series already. We're going to see a rematch later this year. Did you want that? Why have that for this type of event?
I think it's become like a cliche these days with rematch clauses. Originally, when it was going to happen last April, I didn't want rematch clauses because I know they can cause delays and long periods of inactivity out the ring. So I wasn't up for a rematch. I just said, let's throw down. Whoever wins gets all the belts, and whoever loses goes home with his balls in his hands. However, they didn't want to do that. They wanted to guarantee a rematch clause, which is double bubble, really. You get paid twice for the same fight. I understand that. Fantastic. But sometimes it can complicate things because just say we win on the weekend, whoever wins, and then one of us get an injury and the fight gets put back 7, 8, 9 months or whatever. And then you've got to wait for the opponent. So it can cause a lot of trouble.
All right, Tyson, let me close with this. We can't wait for this showdown on Saturday. It is going to be a firecracker in this one. If you win the rematch, some people believe you could be a top 10 heavyweight all time. Do you buy into any of that nonsense now, or is it out of your mind completely?
To be honest with you, I'm not interested in top 10s or top 2s or number 1s or number 59. It means nothing to me. I'm here to get paid, get laid, and go home. That's it. Opinions mean nothing to me.
There it
Nothing
is.
at all. I
Tyson
don't
Fury.
fight for a position amongst the pecking order. I fight to get paid, get laid, go home. Bosh.
In that order. Indeed. Thank you for your time, big man. Big fight Saturday. Can't wait.